Hello and welcome back to On the Rocks. Hope you're all doing well today and looking forward to today's Cup final. The only game we're going to play in today's episode, but we need to make it a good one, and then we also need to start planning out next season. But I think the best thing to do is just dive straight into things. So welcome back, hope you're all doing well. Make sure you do drop a like on the video for me, subscribe to the channel if you're around here, and leave a comment down below for the YouTube algorithm. That would be absolutely fantastic. Thank you very much. Since you were last here, to the defeats, essentially, to Man United in the Champions League semi-final. We've beaten Celtic 2-0 and we beat Hibs 2-0. And as you can see, we already won the league title very comfortably by an awful lot. We'll talk more about this later on, I think. Because it is the final game of the season and a cup final, let's go out on a bang and put our strongest team possible out for this one. We've got Peter in goal, the fantastic keeper. Van Steen, Demantic, Sandro and de Klerk in the back line. Could not ask for a better back line. Maybe Passos rather than Van Steen, but that's me being very pernickety about it all. Sissoko and Tamatloompa in the middle. I think Sissoko needs to be replaced next season. We'll talk more about that later on as well. Very happy with the attacking midfield. Bryce Delaney, Cavalcanti and Lassie Allien, who again, it's likely we will end up losing because he goes back on loan, well, back from loan to us, but back to Man United to play for their first team. However, we did this last season. They apparently have no interest. Saying that, they might not have no interest this season. They've given him a new contract on £225,000 a week. We can't afford that. This will make the offer of the £67,000 a week that we were paying him for the past few seasons. But all of a sudden, this could actually mean we lose Lassie Allien. Now that's concerning. Now don't worry, there's a guy that I think I've spoken to you guys about before that I'd want to replace him with, but he'll cost a lot of money. Anyway, this could actually end up being his final game for us on the right wing. But of course, Varela leads the line with his 36 goals this season. So as kickoff is upon us here today, very much looking forward to this one. Another bit of silverware to win. Obviously, we've won the league, we won the Betfred Cup. Hopefully, we're going to end up winning this one to have the treble this season. We could have had the quintuple if we'd ended up winning the European Super Cup, which we lost at the start of the season, and we ended up winning the Champions League. That could have been the quintuple, but we've not been able to do that. And it's going to be a good long few years before we're going to be able to try and win a quintuple again. It's going to rely on us winning another Champions League, or Europa League, of course, to do that. Or maybe even the Club World Championships as well. That could be a sextuple. Maybe that's what the aim should be. Try and get a quintuple or a sextuple going forward. That would be quite impressive to do in a single season. But I think we'll have to wait another 2 or 3 years for that one, for the Club World Championships to come back round again. There we go. Sebastian Varela opens up the scoring here in this cup final. And what's this? My phone is buzzing. That's because it's the One Football app telling me that Aberdeen have scored the opening goal in today's game. Of course, the One Football app is the best football app out there to keep up to date with all of the latest footballing scores and updates from around the world. And just like me right now, you can get a push notification sent straight through to your phone when anything ever happens in a game, so you never get to miss any of the action. It's really useful, actually, particularly when I'm following Aberdeen and stuff like that. So would massively help me out if you could download the app from the top line of the description for absolutely free. I'll be honest, I'm actually a little bit disappointed it's taken us 24 minutes to get the opening goal in the game here. I'm wanting us to at least get 5 or 6 goals here. Really assert our dominance on Kilmarnock. I think actually this is Kilmarnock's only chance of getting European football. They came outside of the top 6, so they really want to try and get a result here to make sure they get European football next season. But of course, they're playing against us. Ideally, I'd say the best team in the world. I think we are, at least. I mean, obviously we didn't prove it this season by losing to United, but I genuinely think we are the best team in the world, with Sissoko scoring absolute bangers like that. It's a great ball into the middle. De Klerk really fighting off the defenders there, and just that first time shot into the bottom corner. Sissoko obviously heard me saying earlier on, maybe we should replace him next season. I think I said that. Did I say that? I did want to replace Sissoko. I am talking about maybe thinking about replacing him next season. Him, and I guess it's going to have to be Lassie Allien. We need replacements for those two. Now, part of the issue is we only have £50 million in the bank account, which is not going to pay for replacements for Sissoko and for Lassie Allien, unfortunately. But like I said yesterday, it might be a case of some never transfers where we maybe offer 10 million, 20 million up front and then 50, 60, 70 million down the line that hopefully we won't pay because we might finish the save before that, maybe. There's also the small matter of the Scotland job as well. That's something to think about going forward. I tried to make it interesting in the storyline, you know, try and make it, oh, Andre Schittergel's got me the job somehow because he's become the manager, then retired, and now I've got a chance to listen to some motorbikes right past my house. The plan was they'd just give me the job. That's what I thought would happen. I can't understand why they've not given me the job. I think the only way to do it now is to just add a manager and kind of break the immersion of the save a little bit as Cavalcanti gets his 43rd goal of the season. Fantastic stuff. It maybe breaks the immersion a little bit, but I think it would be really good fun to be a Scotland manager on this save. So I might have to just add a manager, and then it'll be very annoying having to sort of go between the two managers. I'm not looking forward to that part of it. Much easier if it was just me. But I think that might be the only option. So let me know what you think in the comments down below. Either way, we've won it. You love to see it. We've won the Scottish Cup. Another season winning the Scottish Cup. Fantastic stuff. Alternatively, what we could do actually is just get Andre Schittergel to keep becoming the manager and then retiring until they just eventually give up. You know, they've given the manager's job to everyone else. Everyone else gets the manager's job. At that point, they just have to give it to me by virtue of just being bottom of the list. The annoying thing about that is, though, it might just get rid of everyone's manager in the league, to be fair. Like, we could go through a whole list of every single manager in this division. They all resign to become a Scotland manager, and then none of these teams have managers, and then the whole thing is messed up. I don't know, it might just be simpler just to add another one of me into the game. Or maybe Andre, maybe we become Andre for the Scotland manager. Either way, we are here now on the league table, and as you can see, we've won it with 112 points. I think that could be a record. 122 goals scored, only 9 against. 2 of them from Celtic, 2 from Hearts, 2 from Dundee, 1 Rangers, 1 Hamilton, 1 Kilmarnock, which is amazing. How many? We scored 122 goals. 14 were against Livingston and Kilmarnock, which is phenomenal. Hibs and Motherwell, and actually Kilmarnock, actually they came 6th in the end. I knew they weren't in European football at this point, because I remember seeing the league table and no one in 6th place had any European football yet. Kilmarnock in the Conference League next season, which is obviously very good for them. But this is the closest season it's been, I think, for Hibs, Motherwell and Kilmarnock to the top 3. Hopefully in the next couple of years they start to overtake Celtic and Rangers. We've almost had a perfect season. One draw, which you saw on an episode, was against Celtic, and that's when Bryce Delaney had his debut and got red carded, and that was the issue. Bryce Delaney, you have costed us a 38-win season. If he hadn't been sent off, we could have won every single game this season. It's been absolutely phenomenal. So we're only 2 points off the absolute maximum we could have had. Maybe next season we'll go and win all 38 games. That will be the aim, obviously. Right, here we go. End of season review. Expecting some good numbers on this one. The new additions then. Tigger McLumper has played brilliantly. Fantastic ratings for him. 8 goals as well from centre-back. The corner routine is superb. I'll talk more maybe tomorrow actually. We might do a video tomorrow about corner routines, which is a lot of fun. So look forward to that one. Bryce Delaney's played phenomenally well too. Jem Finley, when he has played, been fantastic. Brian Medina, 8 assists in 18 games is very good. Sorry, also losing my voice slightly. I think it's a slight side effect from my second COVID jab. I got some pretty bad side effects last time of like just not being able to talk and having a cold. It might be the same this time, and I think it's starting to go now. You can sort of tell in my voice. Obviously, fantastic results all season, apart from that one draw against Celtic, which actually, in the league, was our worst result of the season. You hate to see it. Champions League, well, you hate to see it. Knocked out of the semi-finals there. We'll see if United go on to beat PSG shortly. Fingers crossed they do for our coefficient points. Super Cup, we lost that. Really disappointing, but we did get a win in the Scottish Cup and the Betfred Cup. Moments to remember, a 9-0 victory against Livingston and a 6-1 win against Kilmarnock. Fantastic stuff. Sponsorship up by nearly 2 million. That's good, but we need to be up even more, particularly when broadcast revenue is down by nearly 2 million. That's really weird actually. I don't know why it's dropped so much. I guess the Champions League final gave us a lot. Obviously we've lost loads in competition prize money because of the Champions League. That's not great. But the new stadium has really massively increased the corporate and hospitality for this season. So that's good. And then match day income up slightly as well because of the higher capacity stadium. About £8 million from merch sales as well, 4 million of which is non-domestic. Jan Cavalcanti, the #1 best seller. You love to see it. 43 goals for Cavalcanti this season with also 28... 28 assists and 43 goals is phenomenal. Absolutely superb stuff from Jan Cavalcanti. 24 player of the matches, a 7.9 average rating as well. And then Tamat Lumpa right up there with 48 passes completed per 90. Really good stuff from us. That's a season to remember. And the average rating only goes up when you actually look at the Scottish Premiership results. In the 34 Premiership games he played, an 8.19 rating. That is off the charts good. We're also going to go to, where should we go? Austria, Germany, Australia, Spain, Portugal or Denmark for our pre-season tour. Well, Australia don't have many good teams, do they? It might be good for marketing though. So let's go Australia, I think. And as we would probably expect, Jan Cavalcanti winning the Scottish Players Player of the Year, the Scottish Football Writers Player of the Year, and the Scottish Premiership Top Scorer of the Year as well. Well, Tamat Lumpa, surprisingly, maybe not surprisingly, but he wins Young Player of the Year and the Scottish Writers Young Player of the Year. Superb. Once again, though, despite Cavalcanti winning every single award possible, he's not in Team of the Year. And he hasn't been in Team of the Year for a long time. I just don't understand this. Not in it this season. Not in it the season before that. Not in it the season before that. Was in it in 2027-28. I don't understand. Maybe it's because it's just set to a 4-4-2 every single season. Of course, he plays as the number 10, sort of behind the striker. So maybe that's why he's not in it. But he's somehow not in the all-time team, despite being arguably the best player to ever play in Scotland. Not saying that I'm cross, but I am very cross. But it's very nice of him to dedicate his award to me. It just shows what a great bond me and Jan Cavalcanti have. He also dedicates his other award to me as well. We've been hit with a £4 million tax bill for making £21 million worth of profit. We have got some new sponsorship deals. Okay, that is good. Let's look at the sponsorship details. We've got 53 million in the bank. Sponsorship has now gone up to a total. Just tell me the total, like down here, easily, please. But call that 1.9 and 2.2. Call it 4 million plus that 8. Make it 5 million with all of that. 5.7, 6.25. It's nearly 6.5 million sponsorship. We're slowly increasing it, but just not enough. I mean, genuinely, for a team that have won the Champions League, the sponsorship is just abysmal. Absolutely abysmal. Also, facilities have been downgraded. Well, let's request an improvement on them. But this could take away from our, maybe take away from our transfer budget. I think it should be finalised now, the transfer budget, I would imagine, as the board say no to facilities, but Man United say yes to Lassie Allien. Okay, well that's very surprising. Did not think we'd get him back. Looks like we will get him back. The transfer budget is still 47 million. Let's not mess with facilities just yet. I reckon we leave facilities as they are for now. Let's focus on transfer budget. So focusing very quickly on European football before we finish things up here today. We need PSG to lose to United, and if it's not been played already, it hasn't, good. We need Marseille to lose to Atletico. Has the Conference League final happened? Not yet. They've both been played on the 28th, weirdly. We don't care about this one. No one really is bothered about Bayer Leverkusen versus Roma. We are bothered about Atletico beating Marseille, and we are bothered about Man United beating PSG. Because, of course, if they win, then it's good for the coefficient points. Right, I don't understand how this works, because he's literally just been given a new bumper contract by United, and they are more than happy to let, I'd say, potentially the best right winger in the world just play for us on loan. I don't quite understand the logic, but he's here again. It's a classic case of he just keeps coming on loan to us constantly. I love it. He's back again. Fantastic work. It means we can probably put more money into signing a centre mid for us then. And I think I know exactly who I want that centre mid to be. We nearly signed him last summer. If he's still available, I think we go for him. But of course, we'll talk more about that in the transfer special, although I'm not entirely sure how special it will end up being because there's probably not a lot we can really do nowadays. Also, by the way, I've just realised I've gone straight past the Europa League date. Please, oh, Atletico, please have won that. I really hope Atletico have won that. Oh, for God's sake, Marseille win it. No. Well, that might be it, you know. That might be it already. Marseille win it. Europe coefficient points. France are now on 76.0. We're on 76.6. I assume PSG will get some points, right? For being in the final. Oh, please, United. Please, 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 United. Please win it. Right, so here we are. We actually get notifications for this one because we were in the Champions League this season. PSG versus Manchester United. Please, United. Come on, you love to see it. They got there in extra time. United win it. PSG lose again. Now, what does this do? They'll still get points for losing, I imagine. Nation Club coefficients. France. We've done it. We've actually overtaken France. Look at this. France at 76.2. They only got 0.2 of a point for losing the final, whereas we have ended up on 76.6. We go ahead of France. Huh. I really thought that wouldn't happen. I did not think that would happen, especially when Marseille ended up winning the Europa League. We are overtaking France. And what that means is that for not next season. I think it actually goes in for the season afterwards rather than next season. But we move up into 5th. And actually it doesn't change much at all. I thought it gave us 4 Champions League play. It doesn't. We stick with 3 Champions League places. But rather than just 1 team in the Europa League, we get 2. So that's a bonus. But rather than 2 in the Europa Conference League, we get 1. Okay, well, it's not as big of a change as I thought it was going to be all of a sudden. I'm suddenly a lot less excited than I was a second ago. Italy and Germany, they are the ones we need to hunt down next. And they're ahead of us, but only by 11 points. Still a big difference. But if we could get us, Celtic and Rangers all into like the quarterfinals of a Champions League, that might be enough, you know. That might be enough. Anyway, with all of that, we are going to finish things up here for this season. Transfer special, I will imagine, is going to be out on Monday. We'll have a slightly different video talking about this save, talking about the corner tactics of this save coming out tomorrow, which I think will be very interesting. So look forward to that one. But until next time, have a wonderful rest of your weekend. I will see you soon. Have a good one. Goodbye.